Hello folks, again here in my garage. Hope you had a really nice summer vacations. I'm back as well in the garage, and of course I need to review my new project car or what? Well, it's not really the new project car, but I never ever had done a video with this one, and since there will be some jobs that I need to do, and so why not? Why not introduce my good old friend Volvo C70 T5 from 1998, and as you see in the saffron gold color. So let's go around it and talk through it, and when how did I got that car, and yes, and all the things that is wrong with it now. So let's jump in. Yes, so bit of the history first, as always. Ready? Take some cold snack or tea or coffee, whatever you prefer, guys. So 1998, as I said, Volvo C70 T5 in saffron gold, automatic, with the really nice, all the features, electrical seats, Dolby surround audio system. So I think only thing that you could order extra or adding on that one was a sunroof, so we didn't have any on that one. So it's really nicely loaded car. And yeah, if you remember from my previous videos, I have been talking that I have been working with the Volvo quite some time, and at that time I was working as a service advisor at a Volvo retailer, and this car came in as a trade-in, and that was in 2005, I believe. And this car was yeah, quite in thorough state. It has all the scratches, and bumpers were scratched and non-original wheels, and yeah, I needed some work on the engine, etc. as well. So yeah, the guy traded in for the at that time new XC90, and then I saw the potential, and I got interested in this car, specifically about the color. Really like that color. So yeah, I then just bought that car, and maybe I will find some picture about how it was at that time. So then I started to work on it. At that time I started body work to do the scratches, to paint it, and do the mechanical works at the workshop. So then I fixed the car up, and I was driving like that, and really enjoyed the car. Since it was a really fast car, there was also some troubles with the police some point. Anywho, that was when we were young and stupid, so now we are just young. So yeah, and then so I think I was driving that car this car for like 2 years or so, and then I cheated on a Volvo, and I was going to work for a BMW. So I worked for the BMW, and then I sold this car. And when I sold the car, I was like, I was a bit of a regretting that decision. Anywho, so I think I was spending the BMW like 1 year, and then I move along and moved to the Volvo back again, and I was doing some other jobs, and then but on a different level, so to speak. And once I was visiting the same retailer I was working, and then I saw this car actually there for a maintenance. So then I chatted with the guys, and then they hooked me up with the owner of the car, and that was, I believe, in 2013 or something. So I think it was like a past like 5 or 6 years after I sold it, and there was like a couple of owners in between. Anywho, I chatted with the guy saying, okay, I'm a previous owner of that car. If you ever consider to sell that car, please, here's my number, let me know first. And I was like, okay, I left a note, and yeah, so we apart, so to speak. And then after 2 years, I believe, or 1 year, so he was calling me back saying, Ivis, I'm ready for a new car, so if you wanna, you can get the C70 back. And I said, yes, I want it. So we agreed on a price, so I bought back that car. And then it was a bit of a deja vu, because that was already 2014 or 15, I don't really remember. But that car was exactly about the same shape as I got it in 2005. So I needed to do let's say again, so it was a bit tired in the engine, so it was tired on outside as well, so you can already see some rust spots, etc., since the car was approaching like 20 years old. And then again, so I took it to my body guy, and then said, okay, can you just fix the paint, etc. So and paint it in saffron gold, etc. And then he comes back and said, in which shade of saffron gold you want to have it? I said, what do you mean? He said, but there was like over the time there has been painted this panel, that panel, there, etc., etc. So the car is in different shades, so to speak. So okay, dodge the bullet, so to speak, and to do the job properly, so we repainted complete car. So all the car was repainted. Also the rusty bits were like rear wheel arches were started to rust, etc. So those were fixed, and as I said, all the car was repainted. And again, we did some jobs to the engine and so forth. So I get that exactly same car back, and I don't want to sell it. I don't intend to sell it, and I really don't want to sell this car. So since this was actually my first Volvo, when I was owning, so to speak, we had the Volvo before in the family as well, but my own one, this was the first, and before I was in different brand. Driving some different brand cars, so to speak, and mostly Japanese. I don't know for why, but so this was actually my first Volvo car that I was owning. Since then, and I think it was first automatic car as well what I owned, and since then it was just driving more like corporate Volvos, the company cars, but this has always stayed with me. And then when I moved to Sweden 2019, so I brought the car with me, and before that I was just more like weekend cruiser, so to speak, and you were just using in weekends and driving on some car meets, etc. Really enjoying the car. So then come back here to Sweden, so I was using that for I think for a year or two. Then I bought some other cars that could be I didn't really want to use it in winter time, since here as well in this part of the Sweden there is used as a salt, and I don't really want to get the salt under this car, so I just bought some daily driver, so to speak, and this was just as a fun car. But when I stopped using this car, then I noticed that there is like a tapping noise from the engine, and I said probably it's the hydraulic lifters bad for the car, for engine. So I replaced those, and that didn't help. There was still the noise coming from the engine. Then I started to dig into deeper, because there is also, if you know something from the Volvo engines, etc., maybe you have heard it, there's also like a pickup tube issues, that you have like leaks there, O-rings leaks, and then you don't have, or a pickup is blocked, so to speak, so it doesn't have all the oil getting into the system, so it's starving from oil. That was okay. Anyhow, I replaced those bits, etc., etc. I thought that, and it didn't help to raise the oil pressure. The only thing that I was left with was the oil pump. And for these cars, so this is early cars, so there's a bit different oil pump than on a newer engine, white block engine, so called. So that's why I was like trying, and you cannot get them new, and I couldn't get them used either. Later I actually, from some guys I got knew that actually you can, with some modifications, you can adapt a newer oil pump to the older engine, but it was already, I find my own solution. So I bought used engine actually. So one guy was selling on the marketplace the complete engine from T5, the 850 Volvo, but it's still the same engine. So I just said, okay, I will just replace the complete engine, and it was cheaper than to buy the new oil pump as well. So I got that engine, but before swapping the engine, then I said, okay, before doing that, I just want to test my theory. So I just replaced the oil filter to see if the oil pressure comes back, and it did. So now the oil pressure is great, but there is still ticking sound. Great, right? Nope. So my my theory now is that it has been starring for oil for quite some time. So when I took off the valve cover and sapphire the last time, when I was replacing the hydraulic lifters, I noticed that there is the like wear on the cam lobes and sapphire. Not much, but you can see some scoring. So it could be that actually has been already a bit suffering from the oil starvation, and that's why the engine is, especially when you turn it, you hear actually that this tapping noise. So it's not very pleasant, and I don't want to ruin the engine completely. And besides on that one, I forgot as well. It was it this summer when I was this spring when I want to take it out for a test drive, and it looks like it also has the engine head gasket failure as well, because it was boiling into the expansion tank. So in short, engine kaput, I could say. The car hasn't done so much of the miles, but probably has been abused, maybe by me as well, or some 3 owners. They were in between me in my possession. Anyhow, what shall we do? We have a spare engine, but now I know that this engine has a really good oil pressure. So the bottom of the engine, yes, and as well I replaced also the main bearings, or checked the main bearings for a crankshaft and conner rods, and they were okay. So there was no wear there. So meaning the bottom part of the engine is good. So now it's a dilemma. Should we replace complete engine with unknown used one? That's theoretically is good, oil pump was good. Or that's the option number 1. Option number 2, then we just take off the top of this engine, and then we take top of the spare engine, and then put that top of on this engine, since anyhow the head gasket needs to be replaced. That's option number 2. What will be the option number 3? Put the V8 in it? No, probably not for this car, and keep it original. Option number 3 could be we can take that engine that is a spare engine and try to take it apart, rebuild all the bits and pieces, and then put it into this car as well. So that's option number 3. Probably there is more options as well. We can take that engine as it is, put it in this car, drive it as it is, and then take original engine, then do the machining and rebuild this original engine, and then keep it as a spare one, etc. So this is my dilemma now. But if you want to see around it, I mean, I can show you how it is. But in the sort of like the idea is that we should fix an engine in the between of all the other projects, as you know. The XC90 V8 that needs the attention. We have a P1800, 1800S that we need to work on as well. But yes, all right. So as you see, the car is standing on. You see the car is standing on a pitted 18-inch BBS wheels. So they were original when the car came from the factory. You have a all nice glass, and of course I like this frameless doors there, and the doors actually how they look. I think this is really nice. In my opinion, actually, this is that car is really nice looking, and this car is also really nice looking. It's not some of you maybe noticed that it's all AWS. It's not all-wheel steering or all-wheel drive. It's just my nickname from Ivis, AWS. So alright, so I said it's very clean on outsides. Those are, some hate it, but those are very rare actually, the mud flaps, and I'm a mud flap person. So of course there is nothing to, and there are some, let's say, the scratches here as well, and all the MOT sticker from there. The one thing that I did to it in the beginning when I was on my ownership, you could change the grille from later model. Actually, it's only for the V70 cross country or the facelifted C70, and then as well a bit custom upgraded that one. And the clear lens headlights, they are from the facelifted C70 on a coupes. They were just more like a, what do you call it, reflector type. Oh, this is also reflector. Okay, here under the hood, bonnet, I mean all the usual stuff, so to speak. There is nothing really. As I said, the belt has been changed 10 years ago almost, and now the car has done 240,000 kilometers, so it's just the 40,000 kilometers. But now when we are going to be messing with the engine, of course I will be replacing that one. So this is the old one, engine with the mechanical throttle body. From 1999 or model 2000 they came with so that engine was a newer with electronic throttle body, and a bit higher horsepower as well on there. Yep, and this is how it sits for the moment, because I put it in just to check the oil pressure, how it is, and etc. So actually now I noticed, because that I did when I bought the car, so it was at that time it was 116,000 kilometers in 2005. Right, okay, and yeah, here is the oil pressure sensor that I took out, so you can measure the oil pressures there. Interior wise, to scratch the doors. Interior wise, as I said, it's the SC901, I believe, yes. The music, so that's the highest spec music that you could get for that car. So this is within Dolby Pro Logic system. I don't remember how many. It's 1, 2, 3, 6, and there are 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think it's 11 speakers or something like that. The sound system is really, really nice in this car. The only issue is that this one is that the CD over time, the laser, it gets weak, and then it doesn't really read the CD discs. So of course, if you were watching my other videos, I bought the Bluetooth thing there just to keep the original look and the sound, because I have been putting in there also the aftermarket unit at some point. It was a good aftermarket unit, but the sound, it was never close to the original sounding equipment. They have like a what do you call it, cup holders there, heated seats, coin holders. Yeah, there is some, maybe the guys some of you will know what this is. And of course it's the Swedish brand that you need to read, right? So you have a music on the magnetic things right there. Okay, what else? I mean, I really like the interior. So this was the leather with the Alcantara inserts here. It is not quite worn. It is worn in some place, especially on the driver's seat, but overall it's quite nice condition. And if you didn't know, actually this car is the 4-seater, and it's interesting that the belts are coming from the middle. You have an armrest here, and you have a vent windows. That's also quite a cool feature here. Okay, and what else? Maybe you can go from the driver's side. Those rings, I think that was addition from some of the owner. I didn't have that at my time. And yep, the speakers and the doors, of course, just the 2 window lifts and electric opening and etc. And so forth. Yeah, a mirror that has also the button, so if you wanted to get it automatically dimmed, I think that was a really cool feature in the 90s. Wooden steering wheel, and wooden inserts as well here. So yeah, sport buttons, automatic gearbox and so forth. So here it is, my not new project, but just I wanted to share with you as well. So this car has been in the background and unfortunately has been sitting, and since I didn't use it so much and has a lot of other projects, so it's bit felt sorry for it, since this car really deserves to be in a top conditioning it deserves to be in a good, superb condition. So I need to fix the engine, and what's the big deal? Otherwise the car is really nice, and it would be really good to just get it up and running, and to be, let's say, get it out on the maybe on this autumn, but most likely on the next season in the spring. So what do you think? What should we do with the engine? What would be the most sensible option, so to speak, going there? Well, should we just go with the top and remove the top and do the replace the top from another engine, or should we take that engine, the spare engine, take it apart, rebuild it completely, then put it into here as well? So yeah, what's your take on it? Please comment, and if you haven't yet, you can subscribe as well, that's free. No need to pay for that one, and I really appreciate that one. I think we are close to the 500 subscribers. That's a lot for me, so all the guys that you have done it, thank you very much for just chugging along with me in my with the Volvo and other projects, so to speak. Anywho, I hope you enjoy this introduction or a bit of the story about my first Volvo that I bought, and bought again. So I bought this car twice, as you understood. So I hope this is a keeper now. I think this is a really nice car, in my opinion. Anywho, enough of the rumble, so to speak, and then we see you in some other videos. See ya!